you can fall off, but don't just stay off. You pick yourself back up and you just keep working. It may take a month, it may take 6 months, and that's another problem. Is like people compare themselves too much, man. Let that go.
Welcome to the Good Life.
What's up, everybody on Instagram? Glad to be here. Welcome back to another episode of the Good Life Visual Audio Podcast, where we talk all things health and wealth. I'm one of your hosts, C. Muzan. I got Kabi here with me. Say what's up, Coach.
What up, though?
There we go.
All right. I'm gonna have to apologize to my neighbors next. Oh, we got to get them on the show.
That's right. One or the other. Get them on the show, or just say, "Hey, expect this noise every Wednesday night at right about this time." That's
right
all.
about yeah.
That's all. That's all.
Oh man.
But how's your week been, man?
Week has been great, brother. Week has been great. And, excited to keep rolling. Always look forward to the show. Always look forward to connecting. And, yeah, man, it's going to be a good show. How's your week?
Man, things are well. It's this in-between week. Me and my wife are taking a little bit of a business trip coming up. So, that preparation week right before you're about to kind of head out and fly out. It's always a little bit busier. Lots of moving parts. But we wouldn't have it any other way. Life is good. Everybody's healthy. People are planning activities. Life is moving. The leaves are falling out here. It's fall time. Things are great, man. That's right. That's right.
Let it hear it. Listen, man, a bit of a sad piece here. And I know I'm moving us onto Detroit news here. We want to send our prayers out to Coach Juwan Howard, who's out for heart surgery. We know that's no joke. He is a Detroit staple, member of the Fab Five, coach of the Michigan Wolverines basketball team. And, by all accounts, a real upstanding citizen, except for the time he almost punched the other coach in the face. But that was the Detroit in him coming out,
That's right.
That was the Detroit in him. So hopefully wish him a speedy recovery. But on brighter news, though, listen, I told y'all this. The Detroit Lions stand up. Raw. All right, listen, these boys are taking the division. Vikings who? Kirk Cousins. You like that? You like that? Man, listen, we taking it all the way to the top. Now they're saying LSU, put a ring on it, boy. Ooh. Super Bowl, here we come. And that's all I got to say.
Man, I appreciate your enthusiasm about your Detroit Lions. They had another win this week. Congratulations, man. But I don't know about the Super Bowl.
You're going to downplay this. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Again, just understand, man. Like, it's one thing to have a good start. Shout out to the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Also, another win. So what are you saying about them? Huh? Why not the same energy for the Eagles? What about the Birds, man?
Listen, we'll talk about the Dirty Birds later. All right. Well, they're obligatory for 5-0. Fine.
That's right.
Nothing too exciting to see here.
Not to overshadow all of the fans in Detroit. Shout out to your Lions. I don't know about Super Bowl, but again, they're doing some good stuff.
That's
So
right.
anyways, you guys, hey, thanks for everybody tuning in. Just so you know, if you want to catch more of us, go over to YouTube. We're obviously here on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all your favorite streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you join in on our Facebook group, Health and Wealth for Busy Professionals, we go live every week for these episodes. Also, you can chat with us. We host workshops, give a bunch of insider tips. It's not just a group, it's a community. We're growing, we're improving. So make sure you join us over there in the Facebook group and continue to engage with us on all these platforms. This is how we get the message out. more health, more wealth, the education that's needed behind it. It's all of our jobs to make sure that we're getting this information to people. So we appreciate everybody that is supporting. Quick ad break.
That's right. Are you ready to take control of your finances and your life? Our sponsor, United Agency, has you covered. Whether you're an individual, a family, or a business owner, they offer tailored solutions to elevate your financial journey. Best of all, they're currently offering free financial plans. Don't miss out. Use the link in the description to grab yours today.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Up next, Shop Talk. Shop Talk.
Shop talk.
We're working
We're
on it, y'all.
still working on that.
We're
Still
working on it, y'all. We're working on it.
Sorry, Instagram. Sorry, Facebook. I apologize for.
We're working. We're
Yeah,
working.
yeah, it's coming along.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're riding with us on this journey. Anyways, let's talk about those Eagles. A little bit of sports, a little shop talk here. 49ers and Eagles both undefeated. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. 5-0. Clearly, these two teams are on, what do they call it? A path, a trajectory to meet.
Crash course.
Crash course. That's right. And, it's very clear to me that the 49ers are going to go ahead and whoop that. As the great philosopher, 3-6 Mafia would say.
No faith in those birds. The boy Jalen Hurts is looking good. Defense is playing well. Man, I don't see any flaws in these Eagles. So I don't know.
Hey, put your money where your mouth is. You call it Super Bowl or not?
Of course, I'm calling it.
All right, what you putting on it?
Nothing right now.
Nothing right now. Sounds like a real confident pick, don't it? It sounds like a real confident pick.
As the financial talking head over here, I cannot condone placing sports bets on anything you don't have control over. So I
100 push-ups.
Let's do it. 100 push-ups.
Yeah, boy. Eagles win the Super Bowl. I do 100 push-ups. They lose the Super Bowl, you do 100 push-ups.
Let's do it.
Post it into the Facebook group.
It'll go into the Facebook group. You got to be in the group to see it, but I'm down. That's the bet. There we go.
I have to point this out here. We have a friend of the show that just commented the Commanders. Oh my gosh, almost had them. First and foremost, one of the worst names in all of football. I'm sorry, man, but I am from the DMV area, and goodness gracious, I'm embarrassed. They should have stuck with the football team. All right, they should have stuck with what is this? The Commanders. What you commanding? You ain't commanding no. Let's move on.
It's wild. That's wild. So anyways, outside of the Eagles and Niners, here's a question. Staying in the NFC, will Dak be back? He already got benched, didn't he just get benched?
No, he didn't quite get benched, but he should have. Dallas, I don't know why that's America's team. What we can really speak to is the brilliance of the marketing machine down there, right? They stay in the news. They stay front and center. They always got something going on. Jerry is literally the only owner that has a show after every game. And I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing, because that is the most prized football organization, maybe sports organization, I'll say certainly in the US. You might compare the Yankees, although they're not doing too well, and maybe the Lakers, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's very true. But yeah, Dak is he needs to sit down. he needs a timeout.
He's doing all right. 75 million, 125 million in the last 2 years. He's doing all right.
Yeah, he is. You're right. He is. Last topic in shop talk. Is this the end of the Bill Belichick era?
It's over. It's finito. Done. Put the man out of his misery. It's done. Without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick is clearly a nobody. Okay. Yeah, I said it. All right. Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick didn't make Tom Brady. Okay. Take that to the bank and cash it.
I don't know, man. That's gonna have the people upset. I don't know what's going on. Somebody on Instagram.
Wowsy, wowsy, wow, wow.
Ash, that's the clip we need right there. That's the sound. That was it. That was it. But yeah, it's quite the take. But New England's not looking good this year. I mean, in all honesty, right? Like they're not playing well. So it obviously has something to say about the people on the field, the personnel. Maybe this is time for him to be like, hey, let me just bow out gracefully and just kind of take my flowers and go before it gets too bad. Everything comes to an end. Hopefully it's not though. Hopefully it's not though.
I think he's chasing the all-time winning record, and I hope he gets it because that'd be kind of fun. But otherwise, see you later.
That's it. On to our next part of the show, which we call 2x2.
2x2.
That's right. 2x2 in our 2x2 segment. It's where we're giving tips and advice to entrepreneurs and business owners. Today, we're talking about Alex Hormozi's rule to online success. Some of you might be familiar with Alex Hormozi. He has a couple books out, definitely championing entrepreneurship and business ownership and what it looks like to scale businesses. And he has a pretty simple, straightforward rule to success. Could we go ahead and explain a little bit more of it and what your take is on it?
Yeah, I think this was one of the most, when I was introduced to Alex Hormozi, this was one of the most profound things I took from his first book, which is $100 million offer. And now he has $100 million leads out, and both are extremely good. He's giving out some game for, just $1 or $2. So I would definitely pick those up if you are an online entrepreneur specifically, but even if you are not and you're just an entrepreneur, definitely pick that up. The rule that I remember was the 1-1-1 rule, which he says, listen, you have to pick one avatar. And we talked about an avatar and how to pick an avatar 2 weeks ago. The offer still stands. If you are part of the group and you would like to receive a copy of our avatar question sheet, which leads you through so that it can help you, find and define or refine who your avatar is very important. For those of you that don't know, your avatar is essentially your ideal client. So that's the first one of the 1-1-1 rule. The second one is he advises you to pick a platform, right? I did not listen, okay? Because I have, hard-headed, right? So he says, pick one, right? It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, it could be whatever, but pick one so that you can get the ball rolling and then you can grow to the others. And then number 3, he says, have one offer. Now, further along in my entrepreneurship journey, I understand why he's saying those things, right? Speaking to a particular avatar takes mastery. Mastering a particular platform takes time, and then cultivating the proper offer for those two in terms of avatar and on the right platform is something that you have to work at. When you're doing so many things at once, and then it's hard to then connect them to generate revenue. So if you get one channel set up, then you can easily set up another one, but start with one so you can start seeing success. So that's the 1-1-1 rule, and that's the 2x2 tip for today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I also did not follow that, by the way, just so everyone's clear. I also did not follow it, but it is sound, solid guidance for anybody that's building online and understanding that you may have multiple avatars, you may have multiple niches, but you got to pick one, right? You got to pick one so you can clarify your message. And the platforms, sometimes we look at social media as like all the same thing, but it's not. Every platform is individual. The nuances on Facebook are different than the nuances on YouTube, different than the nuances on TikTok, right? So all of these platforms are different. So that's why, again, it makes sense to say, hey, pick one so you can learn what that audience likes, how they like to talk about things, what the copy looks like, what they like to see visually. That takes a bit of mastery also. And then again, having one offer, just it keeps it simple. So people aren't haggling with price. They know exactly what they're coming to you for. There's not a lot of questions. So again, that process makes complete sense. I did not follow it, but it makes sense. And it's something that I think if people are a little bit lost of like how to craft it for themselves, how to craft their business or their marketing or their sales, that's really a good formula to use.
Yeah. Yeah. And to cap it off, I believe he says, use the 1-1-1 rule until you hit $1 million. 1-1-1 rule until you hit $1 million. And then you have not just revenue, but you also have, you have revenue that you can invest, whether it's hiring other folks, et cetera. So yeah, it's the one I tell a lot of folks. And like I said, sometimes it's do as I say, not as I do.
Absolutely. But just
don't
so
make
you know,
the same mistakes.
Just so you know, the other side has its benefits too. It's not necessarily simpler, right? But it definitely has its benefits to be across multiple platforms from a marketing standpoint, or right, be able to reach a few different types of demographics of people or different avatars. But again, to each his own in entrepreneurship. That's why it's a learning and growing process.
Yeah. Right? To your point, and like Alex Hormozi is on multiple platforms right now. But he's also worth 100 million plus. So, you know, he can hire people to do that. So I think it's an order of operations type of question. It's not which platform, it's when.
When, yeah, not too soon. Makes sense. Cool. Next segment, real quick. Why are you mad, coach? This is a real question. There's a lot of noise out there in the world and somebody's got to call it out. So lucky for us, coach hates noise. So tell us, why are you mad, coach?
Oh man, this week I'm not only mad, man, I'm sad. Okay. We've all heard what's going on, and I'm not political at all. I don't actually watch the news. I hear from people here as to what's going on. We want to say our hearts, or I want to say my heart goes out to all humans in the world that are suffering. We know what's going on in the Middle East and has been going on for a pretty long time. And for all those that suffer and are suffering, for families and people that are lost individuals, who definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge a very serious topic. But while I'm mad is, you know, we've got leaders out here playing Game of Thrones. Let's just call it what it is. And they have been for a pretty long time. This is just the history that we live with. As a history teacher, I've seen this far too often. I've looked into this pretty deeply. And it's just, it gets me pretty mad, pretty upset that we have people who are never on the ground fighting. They don't shoot any guns. They don't suffer any atrocities, but they're out there commanding atrocities to take place. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because while leaders play Game of Thrones, normal, common, everyday people suffer real atrocities. And that, quite frankly, is not just sad, but it pisses me off. I got to end on a little bit of a brighter note, man, which is texting behavior that pisses me off. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. And if you text me, if you have my number, just know I'm watching you when you do this. Why you can't close the conversation? You send me a text, cool. I send you a text, cool. You send me a text back, nothing. I send you a text, nothing. I can't like it, can't double tap, no. All right. You just gonna let a brother hang like that? I send you a whole paragraph explaining if and when we're gonna meet, and you just don't respond, right? You just leave me hanging like I'm some dude trying to get in your DM. Come on, brother, respond. Double click. It don't take that long. Golly, I'm out of here. Sheesh.
I guess we know why you're mad. Hey, that texting thing, it could just be people are busy. Sometimes they, like, you can see if it's read, right? You can see if somebody read it. So is that not enough for you, coach?
How long does it take to double tap? How long does it take to double tap? How long does it take to double tap? So I know that you know that I know that you got the message. You know what I mean? It don't take that long, right? And you know very well that people doing this, it's a power play. It's a power play. That's what it is, right? They're not too busy.
What
You know,
about
you send me a text, I respond within seconds. You can't double tap.
What
You
about
can't double tap.
What about the Android user? What about the Android user?
What about that? Well, that's your
You can't-
first problem.
It's
That
not.
pisses me off too. You know what I mean? That might be worse. So you an Android user, you can't double tap?
We
No,
can't.
they don't
No,
have
we
double
can't.
tap on Android.
We don't have that feature.
Nah, you serious?
No, serious. There's like two different.
Y'all can't double tap?
No, we can't.
Oh my God.
No, we can't.
I know what I'm talking. I'm mad about next week. What on earth? Listen, if we friends and you got Android,
Listen, we're not that bad. It's better than being in the Matrix. Again, these iPhone users, you're in the Matrix. Like they got you. They got you. You can't even see anything. Look at how passionate you get about this. They put something in your water. I'm telling you. This is not right. It's not right. Anyways, let's dive right into the show because we have a real special guest and we don't want him waiting any longer. Coach, you want to intro him?
let's do it. This man is an inspiration to all. Go ahead and follow him on Instagram as he displays the peak, the beacon of consistency. He's a father of three, a leader of men, a manager of workers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the man, the myth, and the hero, young Doogle.
Here we go.
He's
There we
coming
go.
in.
There we go.
I like to point out that he has been bestowed world's best dad.
You see it on the hat. See it on the hat.
What's up, party people? One second. I've been waiting to do this for weeks now. Yeah.
Oh, it did the mic thing, bro.
Told
It did
you.
I
told
heard
you.
it on my end. Oh, this is crazy, bro. You can't yerp. Apparently, it blurs out after half. Yeah, it's crazy.
See, your
It's crazy.
mic.
You gotta like back up. You gotta be like, "Yerp."
That's lame. That's lame.
Yeah.
They get the point. They get the point. But listen,
That's right.
I'm honored and thankful to be here, gentlemen. Really appreciate the invite. And I'm sorry to start off like this, but we have some difference of opinions from the shop talk and this Android malarkey. But we're gonna skip past that. Let's move on for right now.
No, if you got something to say, you're a friend of the show. You could give us your 2 cents. Where did we disappoint?
First of all, I don't know when Coach turned his back on the Colts and went to Detroit, because that right there is blasphemy. We gonna need to discuss that off air. First of all,
trader. He's trading, switching
the
up.
Lions of all teams you chose. I mean, I guess the blue is common. There's a theme, commonality there. But hey, as you would say, we all make choices. Yours might be wrong, but hey, that is what it is. But I am rooting for the Eagles this year, though.
Let's go.
As a Colts fan, so that should let you know how I really feel about my team this year.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Coach.
Who's your quarterback? Who's the Colts quarterback?
Some young guy, Anthony Richardson. I don't even know his last name, but I know he's doing pretty decent though.
He not in the game.
Wow.
He not in game. The mustache is the quarterback currently.
Word.
Minshew.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
See, that's how much interest I have in the Colts right now.
Let's go
Yeah.
Birds. That's okay.
Yeah.
We welcome you over here.
Yeah, no. See, I can explain.
Please.
Explain. See, what had happened was. So, what was the next topic?
Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, young Doogle, we appreciate having you on the show. Let the people know exactly who you are. I know Coach gave you a nice intro, but give people a little bit of context, a little background, where you're from, what you do, kind of how you got here.
Wow. I'll be brief as possible. So originally, I am from a small Caribbean country, Jamaica, the best Caribbean country there is, honestly.
Yeah.
at around the age of 12, 13, I migrated to the States with my family. It wasn't my decision. So where we ended up was the Poconos. Don't blame me. It was a harsh transition. Um, yeah. So from there, went on to pursue education at the Pennsylvania State University. Gonna throw them a shameless plug there.
Oh.
And from PSU, went to work. And work led me to the wonderful state of Virginia, where I met a young coach over there at a gym, coincidentally. Where else would I meet him, right? And since then, I've been working in IT since I moved to Virginia. I currently work at the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. Um, I'm a father of a beautiful 3-year-old son. A daughter is on the way in about 4 weeks.
Hey.
And I don't know where the third one is, coach, but we'll be somewhere.
We'll talk about that off screen. Off
But-
wax.
But yeah, I'm just like I said, IT professional, father, husband, and right now just working on my next venture in life, which is in the works and focusing on my health right now.
Sure. That's awesome.
Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. Listen, Doogle, I'm gonna jump right into it, man. One of the reasons that I personally wanted to have you on the show is we talk to a lot of what we call corporate athletes. And for those who are joining us for the first time, a corporate athlete is essentially any individual who works a normal job for a living. It's not a sports athlete. It's not an entertainer, right? It works normal 9 to 5, typically in some sort of office or from home. And we talk to a lot of these. That's the type of people we talk to. We're men of the people, if you will. One of the biggest things we get, or one of the biggest pushbacks we get, is whether it's in terms of managing your health, managing your money, is, man, I don't have time. Right? Like there's a lot. I got a lot of pressures, man. I got kids. I got a partner, wife, husband. I got a mortgage. I got, I got a job, bosses, demanding job I got to respond to. I can't find time to inspect my money, or I can't find time to dive into my health, etc. And you've been somebody I've known to be very consistent in these things, and you have all of those other obligations, etc., man. Let me ask you, bro, how do you manage, and what do you say to individuals who say, I'm a little too busy, I can't do those things?
That is a great question. And you set it up perfectly. There is so much things going on a day-to-day. And honestly, I think it starts with why you want to do whatever you want to pursue. You have to have that like motivating force, that drive, because it's gonna help you stay disciplined and work towards the goal. And secondly, having support. You can't do it by yourself, no matter how hard you try, whether it be a friend, a coworker, your spouse, or significant other. You need support to help keep you motivated, one, and help hold you accountable. And lastly, the time aspect. I always give the example, if you really want to make the time for something, you're gonna find the time for something. If you're in a college or your work life, somebody's like, hey man, let's go party, and you want to party, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go find the time to party. You're gonna find the time to travel. So why not find the time to go exercise? It only takes so much time out of your day, time that you would have spent otherwise. But it's really comes down to, is that driving motivation there for you wanting to achieve your goal.
Yeah, that's huge. It's what I hear you saying, it's about the priorities, right? Like, just
There you go.
you value, whatever you prioritize, you put time into, you put energy into. And so again, that's what we always like to talk about. with corporate athletes, with people that are doing this, is just, you know, whatever you're prioritizing, whatever you value, you're going to put time and energy into. And too often we don't prioritize the right things, or the things that will give us the most bang for our buck, so to speak. And again, kudos to you. I know, as long as I've known you and we've jumped in, you know, groups together or challenges together or whatever it is, right? You've always shown up despite all the things, despite the family, right? Like, despite of the job and all the stuff, you still show up because you prioritize your health. When did you get that priority? Like, when did health become priority for you?
So right before my firstborn, I I remember I went to go visit coach actually in California, and I saw some pictures of myself, and I'm like, they were candids, you know, they caught me off guard, not gonna lie. And when I got back to Richmond, it would have been maybe like August, maybe that year, and I saw the pictures and I'm like, there's no way this is me. I am not this guy in this picture. And that signaled me right there. And then as I got closer to my son's like birthday, um, I was like, nah, I can't have my guy come and see me like this. I got to be a better example to him, because he can't come into this world and see his dad like this at all. And I don't want him to end up looking like me, because he's gonna think I'm a role model, right? So I got to start off strong. And that's literally what happened. I saw myself, didn't like the way I looked, and I didn't want my son to see me that way. And that gave me my why that I alluded to earlier. It's like, I need to do better.
Wow, man, that's powerful,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Like, those are the things, the shifts that we make
Mhm.
in our life, just by saying like, all right, this is now important. Before, this might not have been important. Now I have a greater purpose, a bigger why, whatever it is. And now
Mhm.
this is going to be incredibly important for me. So that's
You know, that's
powerful, man.
that's a I appreciate that, man. But as we were talking, as you were talking about this, Doogle and Chris, as you were just saying that, man, it occurred to me that we can't all have a child before we get serious,
That's
right?
true.
If we need to have a child before we get serious, I mean, what are we talking about, right? So, you know,
Uh,
I always look at the situation, and this is for both of you guys can speak on this, is like, do I don't lean on motivation
mm,
personally anymore, right? I believe it's a weak muscle. I believe it's a secondary, tertiary muscle. I lean on what I would term, for lack of better words, as discipline,
mhm.
which is simply doing what I said I'm going to do because I said I'm going to do it. That's it. And practicing that on a day-to-day basis in areas that I'm already strong in allows me to leverage that muscle in areas that I'm weak in later on. See, when the pressure cooks up, right? When the pressure heats up, all right, what do the Marines say? We don't rise to the occasion. We sink to the level of our training, right? So, you know, how do individuals, let's say they already had the son, because I talk to people who've already had 1, 2, 3 kids, and it's this is the way it's going to be. This is it for me, right? Or those who haven't had it yet, and they're like, I'm good. All is fine, right? I mean, I kind of want this, but not really. And is it even up to it? Like, should we even, like, if they don't want it? This is something I struggle with as a coach, right? If somebody doesn't want something, who am I to tell them?
Right.
Right? Who am I to tell them? Well, you know, maybe you don't want to pass away young with a heart attack because you've got 2 kids that are kind of dependent on you. But no, okay. Let me back off. Right? No, and I think this is this is because, guys, listen, I can give people a ton of programs. I can give them everything they need, but I can't make them do anything. A coach doesn't make you do anything. A coach doesn't, right? A coach just sets the plate and allows you to eat. You know, so what is the missing link, man? What is the missing link?
I'll take a stab at that first. So you're right. We shouldn't focus on a child having to be the Kickstarter there. That's outrageous. But I will say part of that though, and to feed off what you said, Coach, the motivation is quote unquote a weak muscle, right? Because it does fade, but I think it helps with um getting disciplined initially. I think what people fail at and what's the missing link here is that they want results too fast. Patience is missing. You can't just start today and expect next week I'm gonna be down 50 pounds. That's not gonna happen. Or I want to pick up 100 pounds today and next week I'm squatting 405. You're not doing that. I think you have to give yourself grace and patience and start small, habit stack, goal stack, and work your way up, because the more little wins you get, eventually those little wins turn into big wins. For me, when I started my journey, my end goal was to get to 230 pounds. I know, it was a weight goal. But what I started to do was I started going by 5 pound increments. Like by the end of this month, I want to be 285, 280, 275. And before you knew it, that sucker was just rolling, because it was like I set myself up for small wins. And I think just being patient and giving myself that, like not putting like a timeline, like the end goal is like, I got to get to 230 by, I don't know, the first, but giving myself that space to get there, but not rushing it. And I think that's one of the problems, is that people want to rush the progress and not take the journey is where it's at, man. Honestly.
Absolutely. I
Hembo,
agree.
that's the clip. That's the clip right there, Hembo. That's the clip. I need that. I need that. I need that. No, this is so critical, bro. This is so critical what you're hitting on right now, because there's a lot there to tease out. Okay. Couple of questions come to mind. Why do you want that goal? And usually it's aesthetics. Let's be real about this. I always talk about this. Usually it's aesthetics. There's 3 parts of health: vitality, aesthetics, and performance. Usually it's aesthetic. Why do you want that goal by that date? Right? Number 2, if and when you get that goal by that date, then what? Right? Then what happens? Right? And number 3, if you don't get that goal by that date, what happens? Okay. So what I often notice is it's kind of like we put the cart before the horse, or we don't go to the root causes. Right. So the reason that you got to where, or I got to where I'm starting out, that I don't want to be at anymore, whether it's weight related, whatever it is, we never actually address the underlying causes. So whether or not somebody hits their goal, it actually doesn't matter, because if you look at, did we address the underlying pieces, the underlying habits, the underlying mindset, the underlying things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis? If we didn't, 99% of the time, the person will revert back to where they were, and usually worse. Right? And usually worse. So we can easily see this with an aesthetic goal, but this is also the same with like habits, right? So when I gave up alcohol and weed for a period of time, not looking at my habits, right? Or why it became clear after a while that it was a stress coping thing. It was an automatic button for me where I could just relax, or I could get out of my head, or I could do. In not addressing those things, right, I went back almost harder for a short period of time until I caught myself. And then I was like, oh man, like I'm pretty much where I was. It's almost like I didn't take the year off. Right. So underlining those underlining, but the thing is, these are conversations, Chris, you know this working with folks. Doogle, you know this going through life yourself. We don't want to have those conversations. Right. Those conversations are prickly. They're uncomfortable, right? And you're forced to look into the mirror. You're forced to deal with things that have been there for a really long time. You're forced to deal with unpleasant emotions, right? And in society, what we try to do, and this is what we mimic, is we try to hide the things that we don't want to see, right? We hide the homeless people, we hide the diseases, we hide the trash, right? By trash, I literally mean trash. Like we try to hide trash cans and stuff, right? Right. And we try to throw away any garbage on the streets, right? So and I think that's so critical to hit on is what is the root cause? Whether it's disease, whether it's habits, whether it's manifestations of things, right? We try to hide skin blemishes. We try to hide, we hide these things. But what is the root cause? And are we actually addressing them? And that's where the patience comes into play.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why this is patience, but this is patience. Sprinkle a little patience on
sprinkle a little in.
Kobe Bay.
Boy.
That's it. Man, you guys said so much in those things, but again, 1,000% right. Patience is the key. Man, there's so much there that I think people can really pick up, and if they apply it, right? Because that's the whole thing. Like, this is all application based. It's understanding, getting the information, and then actually applying it. Once you apply it, you'll see differences, right? You'll see things change. You'll understand your habits a little bit better. But that's what we're training for. I don't think people always have that long-term mindset, that long-term, Doogle, you said something about, right, like short-term, right? Just like wanting it right now. And I think if we can help people see a little bit further into the future as to like what is up ahead and what they do want up ahead, then they can have a little bit more restraint, have a little bit more care about what they're doing around their health, and also again around their money. That's why this stuff is so tied together, because it really is. It needs a long-term perspective, a long-term view for you to take it seriously, to do the right things. So a lot of stuff encompassed in there, though.
Have you guys seen, they always reference the study of the kids that are left in the room with the cookie, right? If you don't eat the cookie, we'll come back, we'll give you 2. Yeah. And then they track the kids who waited and the kids who didn't, and they see the kids that were able to wait are actually able to achieve a lot of the things in life that we all say that we want, right? So the things that we all say we want, right, as it relates to our health, as it relates to our relationships, as it relates to our money, right, requires that muscle, that patience muscle, that if I give up 1 cookie now, I can have 2 in the future muscle, right? Long name for a muscle, but I'm still working on the name of the muscle, right? But that's so critical, man. And I always think about that piece of it. Yeah. And if you're struggling with that, guys, I'll be honest with you, like the physical stuff that I coach on is super easy for me. I've been studying this stuff for a long time. Where I've grown the most as a coach and where I hope to continue to grow as a coach is the mindset coaching. That's the key, right? That's the key. If I'm not able to unlock that with a client, with a person, anybody, they will not succeed. The plan doesn't matter. The plan is irrelevant. If I can't help the individual, honestly, most of the time, get out of their own way, they won't succeed, So, kudos to all those out there who are struggling with this. I think we all struggle in our ways, but look in the way, bro, that you are already succeeding, and actually lean into your strengths, right? We're talking to habit stacking, right? If it's super easy for you to crush a burger, right? Crush a burger after your workout, right? Like just tap. We call that reward, but you could also have it before. Like if it's super easy, you never forget to brush your teeth. Well, brush your teeth and then immediately after do your meditation, right? Just find, it's those little things that add up 1% over time.
That's good. That's good. Doogle, last kind of question for you. Do you continue to set health goals? Like what's up and coming for you? How are you still balancing harmonizing family, work life, health? What's like on the horizon for you?
Me, yes, I'm still setting health goals. I'm no longer setting a weight pound or whatever target anymore. I think going back to coach's most recent point of the mindset, that's where I myself am trying to grow into. I can't tell you how much times I call that man and be like, bruh, complaining. And then, after a while, it's like I really do see the importance of having the right mindset towards things. Like, yeah, me too. Like, for the physical movements and stuff have become somewhat less challenging to me, right? I mean, I can do whatever now, but it's like, why that intention behind it is what I need to do. Like, when I'm going down for my push-ups, I'm focused on like my hand placement, my breathing, my posture. The intention behind it is different. And then I didn't believe it until, coach put me onto this, but you can feel the difference in the movement when you're like focused on it in a different way. So for me right now, my health goals are more so, how can I keep experimenting with my body, trying different things? How can I stay healthy? Because I don't, aesthetics are cool, yeah, but I want to be able to function when I'm 75. I'm trying to be able to walk and my knees not hurt, my back not hurt. And that's what my goal is now, is vitality. The aesthetics, I feel like, will come whenever they come. I'm being patient about that. But best believe I'm gonna take the shirt off in the summer regardless.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. And guys, don't let Doogle here downplay the level of work he's put in. We've been working together for a while, and the level of work this man has put in terms of his mindset, more than anything, is really incredible. Honestly, it's really incredible, and kudos to you, brother. You know, whatever. We don't even talk about the number anymore, man. 75, 85, 90, whatever, pounds. What is that, right? But the man is now doing things that is no way the man that I met in the gym a couple of years ago would be doing. Right.
Not at all.
So kudos to you, brother. And really an example. I personally know a lot of people that you inspire just by doing what you do every day. Right. Just by displaying. Right. Because people look at me and they're like, this guy, man. So whatever. Look at this guy. Like, this is literally what he does. Right. But to see somebody else who's in your position do the things that you're doing, bro. You don't know who you actually don't know who's watching and who you're inspiring. And it's more than just your son. It's more than just your daughter. It's a lot of people who are watching and are, I think that's the best way we can go about it in terms of, if you have family members, let me leave it up, your family members, friends, etc. You really want them to do something about their health, because why? It's a little selfish, because I want you around a little bit longer. I want, right? Best way to go about it is the way that man is doing, which is just be the example, do it, and
That's right.
and they will either follow or they won't, and you have to be okay with that.
Yes, sir. And I just have one last thing to say, and that's going back to Chris's point, when you start applying that patience and mindset, it's effort has to be made, man. Like, at the end of the day, you really gotta just try. No matter what you do, don't give up. Just keep trying. Results will come, but you cannot give up. Like, that's part of being consistent, right? You can fall off, but don't just stay off. You pick yourself back up and you just keep working. It may take a month, it may take 6 months. And that's another problem, is like, people compare themselves too much, man. Let that go. They be all right. Don't worry about the other people. You worry about you. If you run at your pace, you stay in your lane, you can't go wrong.
That sound advice, Doogle. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you being that consistent person that is setting an example. We appreciate you coming on the show today. Like you said, we got to give you like a monthly spot or something. We got to get you the sign.
I'll be
right?
happy to, man.
Yeah, we got to figure it out for sure. You want to let the people know where to find you if people want to find you?
And I mean all social media platforms, Doogle 876. follow me, hit the boy up. I'll be happy to talk.
There we go. There we go. We appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you, fellas.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
of course. The Good Life Visual Audio Podcast just dropped its first piece of merch with our exclusive Follow the Money t-shirt. It's not just clothing, it's a statement of your commitment to mastering your health and wealth. So be a part of the movement and get yours today. Just visit the Good Life Visual Audio Podcast store using the link in our descriptions. And remember to always follow the money. Any last takes, brother?
Yes, sir. Man, Doogle, such an inspiration. Having him on, getting a chance to, because we talk about corporate athletes all the time, getting a chance to see somebody that actually is doing it, that is consistent, that is juggling all the balls, so to speak. Pause. Yes, but he's he's making it happen, and it's always refreshing to be able to see that. So that's my major takeaway, is that it is possible that you can do it. The balls can be juggled. I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you with the last take. Be like Doogle, not Chris. But it can be done. And stop beating yourself up. Stop comparing. Run your race. Usually nothing good comes out of that except giving up, a whole bunch of negativity. So appreciate you for being on here, Doogle. Thank you for the inspiration and the example. And guys, make sure you join our Facebook group.
Okay.
Thank you for your time this time. And until next time, peace.
Later, y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Good Life.
If you enjoy this episode, please take a moment to subscribe and like our channel.
If you have any feedback or suggestions for future episodes, please leave us a comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast audio version, we appreciate you just as much. Thank you for tuning into the Good Life Show.
We believe that everyone has the potential to live their best life, and we hope our show helps you get that one step closer to achieving your goal.
If you know someone who would benefit from our show, please share it with them, and thank you for your continued support.
That's it for another week's episode here on The Good Life. We'll see you next week for another inspiring conversation.
Welcome to the good life.